This is a barbell overhead press. I'll show a few reps and we'll break it down. All right, so a couple things that we're looking for here. The first and biggest one that I started coaching, because it just makes a stronger lift and typically removes a lot of shoulder pain if you do have it or shoulder discomfort, is cueing some external rotation in the lift. So most of the rotator cuff, the stabilizer of the shoulder, are external rotators. We're stronger and typically more stable in a position of external rotation. So stay with me here. Rotating thumbs down is internal, palms up is external. So we want to be kind of in that position. But I have to grip the bar with palms down. So what do? We grab the bar and we try to create that rotation. When the elbows are bent, so internal, elbows are outside, not what we want. External, elbows are right underneath, what we do want. So big mistake I see in the overhead press is people will set up and their elbows would be behind the bar and outside their wrists. So that's both priming them to push it forward, but also in an internally rotated position to shrug up into their neck. And then it's like this, and then they have to make a correction to get it over their head. So from the setup, I typically line my thumbs up with this knurling, so my hands are about shoulder or just outside the shoulder. Get a full grip, not like our front squats, we want a full grip here. Before I lift, I'm gonna push my elbows forward and together. So that's the move. I'm not going 100% because then I'm like super awkward, but maybe 75%. From there, brace my core, press overhead, and I want to keep this external rotation at the top. So what that looks like is at the top, I'm trying to have the tips, the bony part of my elbow, facing the camera. It's not quite there, but I'm trying to get it. Or another cue is show the armpits forward. So that gets external rotation of the shoulder. So I'm trying to rotate the armpit forward, crease of, or a bony part of the elbow forward through the whole lift. So often if you have discomfort or you're plateauing, getting a little bit external rotation can get you a little more stable in that. So that's one of the biggest cues I think isn't coached quite enough, is getting into that position. Again, it's elbows forward and in, so now I'm in a strong, stable overhead pressing position, okay? Other than that, the main fault is that we'll lose control of our low back, particularly if you're a bit tight in the shoulders or thoracic spine. So we show from the side, I am a bit tight in the shoulders and thoracic spine. I have just enough mobility to do a decent overhead press. So as I press up, I am bringing my rib cage down, so if you can see that, and I'm actively contracting my anterior abdominal muscles, my core in the front. So as I press up, I'm trying not to arch my back. So I'm bringing my rib cage down. I'm not slumping, but I'm trying not to do this with my back. Because I'm a little bit tight, I start to run in some resistance, and if I don't engage, I'm gonna end up there. That might be okay sometimes, but under repetition or heavy load, we can actually start to get some low back pain with an overhead press. So putting it all together, elbows forward and in, nice stable base, feel my shoulder width. I'm gonna bring my rib cage down slightly, brace the core. I'm even gonna brace my glutes. So now I'm stable through my hips and torso, and then press up overhead, core on at the top. I'd like a brief pause, down with control. And that's hopefully gonna be a pretty solid overhead press. But for me, as I fatigue, I tend to start arching my back, and that's when I know it's time to finish the set or maybe even drop the weight.